I told Mommy that I want to be a werewolf when I get older. But she said I can't.
You can be whatever you want to be. Just ignore your mom, like Wonder Woman did.
It's going to be terrible.
As a little girl, Diana wanted to be a fighter, just like every other woman on this island. But her mom wanted to keep her safe.
From what?
Queen Hippolyta, her mom, tells her that long ago, the god of war Ares decided to kill all the other gods because he was jealous of humans. And Zeus made the Amazons to protect humans from Ares.
I thought some guy named Jeff made Amazon.
Jeff Bezos. That actually adds up.
You know nothing of the gods.
So even though they think Ares is dead, their only purpose in life is to fight him if he ever comes back. Even though it's been thousands of years and no one has ever found this island, the queen still rides with bodyguards because she's a paranoid nutbag.
Does her daughter have bodyguards too?
No, she gets to run around the island completely unsupervised. But she's the only child on the island, so it's kind of like everybody's watching her too.
My mother sculpted me from clay and I was brought to life by Zeus.
Well, that's neat.
Hippo Lady really wants to protect her daughter, so she lies about everything to her.
But only the fiercest among us even could. And that is not you, Diana. I wished for you so much, so I sculpted you from clay myself. That was a story, Diana.
She should at least be able to defend herself.
From whom?
Her aunt thinks that Diana needs to train in case Ares ever comes back, but her mom thinks that he's dead. She also thinks that if Diana gets too strong or learns too much about Ares, that Ares will find the island.
Are you insane?
And this tinfoil hat way of thinking is exactly why her aunt trains her to fight.
Although I am not opposed to engaging in a bit of fisticuffs should the occasion arise.
We see that she's a teenager when her mom finally catches her training.
So they trained for like 5 years before she found out.
For all we know, it could be 500 years. We have no idea how time works on this magic island. You'd think that somebody would have saw her sneaking out or would have said something. The point is, Hippo Lady sucks at being a mother, let alone queen.
It seems I'm not the revered queen I should be.
But she does allow her to continue training. Years or even centuries later, we see that she's an adult and a complete badass. But she drops her guard for a second and finds out that her wristbands have this pushy, magic, blocky power.
I'm both frightened and aroused.
Actually, it can't be the wristbands, because everybody else is wearing them, and they look really surprised when she does this.
Which?
So instead of asking or answering any questions, she just runs away. While she's on this cliff trying to figure out what just happened, she sees a plane crash into the ocean. She steals Aquaman's only power and swims out to the wreckage. She saves the pilot and drags him to shore. We see that there's a thick fog around the island, and that's why no one's ever found the place.
So did her magic break the fog for him to see the island or something?
I don't think so, but they really should have gone with that. Instead, he thought he could hide from a German battleship in it. The Amazons rushed like a prime delivery to the cliff, only to find the Germans approaching the island. So despite having superior firepower and seeing that the island is nothing but women, they open fire and start killing the Amazons. I wish the Amazons said McClunky or something to get the Germans to fire. But the Amazons have the upper hand on land because of the powers of spinning and flipping.
Flipping?
They are surprisingly flippy in battle and defeat the Germans. Unfortunately, her aunt took a bullet for her during the fight, and she dies. Because of this, Hippo Lady wants to kill Steve, the guy that Diana rescued, but she tells her mom to stop because he's a good guy.
How does she know that?
Because he told her so, and apparently that's good enough.
One of the good guys, and those are the bad guys.
They ask Steve some questions, but he won't answer.
I can't tell you that.
It's like, read the room, Steve. These women are in loincloths and fight with arrows. They don't care that you're a spy.
I am a spy!
They just want to know why their friends died. They use this lasso on him that makes you tell the truth, and he tells them about World War I.
You should be ashamed.
My
You
apologies.
should be ashamed.
Diana.
All of you should
Diana.
be ashamed.
Diana thinks that this is the work of Ares, but the rest of them just kind of blow her off.
So their only job is to stop Ares, and this war might be happening because of him. And they don't want to check it out?
Yeah, they're all like, it's probably not even him. It's probably some other guy. And Diana's like, well, what if it is him? And they're like, I guess they need more proof than the biggest war the world has ever seen. Her mom just looks at him like, why are you telling her this, dick?
So they're supposed to protect us from the god of war. but they have no idea that a big war is going on.
You'd think that they'd have scouts checking in on the planet every once in a while, but, they've got better stuff to do. So Diana wants to go back to London with Steve to fight Ares.
I volunteer as tribute.
So she breaks into this tower and steals a whole bunch of weapons. Apparently Zeus created this weapon called the God Killer that, kills gods. So she takes that, a shield, the lie detector lasso, and gets some new clothes. She gets Steve out of the hot tub.
Whoa.
What's that?
It's a,
You let this little thing tell you what to do.
yeah?
It's hideous.
And they go get a boat. Hippo Lady then stops them and says, "Don't go." Then immediately changes her mind and tells them to go.
What?
So they take off, and a bodyguard asks Hippo Lady,
Should you have told her?
to which she replies,
The more she knows, the sooner he'll find her.
But she's going to look for Ares. How can her mommy not help her?
yeah, she's kind of all over the place. Not to mention, she doesn't send anyone with them just in case she's actually right. Nut job.
Whatever happened to the battleship?
Beats me. All I know is these two are very uncomfortable around each other.
You don't sleep with women.
Not very often, no.
And this boat makes amazing time. Somehow they get from the Aegean Sea all the way to London while she takes a nap.
It's magical.
So in London, he needs to get this book he stole from the Germans to his bosses, but she wants to go find Ares. So she starts channeling her mother and starts thinking irrationally about how they should just rush the battlefield without a plan.
Oh, baby.
So instead of forming a plan, he just takes her shopping. We then meet his secretary, Etta Candy, and they have a girls just want to have fun trying on clothes montage. Girls just want to have fun. Yeah, girls just want to have fun. They just wanna. They don't actually play this song because it doesn't come out till 1983. But maybe they'll do it in her next story, which is called 1984, and the song does exist. So they get her some normal clothes and head to the bosses. On the way, they get attacked by some men who want the book back. So she beats the crap out of all these guys, and they go to question one of them, but he takes a cyanide capsule and dies.
What about the other guys? Why didn't they just ask them?
Shut up. So they go to see the bosses, who are just a joy to be around. One of them is a human mustache named Sir Patrick, and he takes them to see the general, who loves all the help he can get.
Who is this woman?
We should hear what she has to say.
Yes, very well.
Steve tells him that this General Ludendorff was planning on releasing a poison on the troops and stopping the armistice. The war is coming to a close, and nothing can interfere with his treaty signing. So stopping the man who's trying to stop the treaty signing is completely out of the question. Convinced that Ludendorff is Ares, Diana wants to hunt him down. So Steve and Diana recruit some men to go with them.
We are probably gonna die. This is a terrible idea.
We meet Sammy the con man,
I am an actor.
and Charlie the sniper.
Maybe you're better off without me, yeah?
Etta brings the mustache to the bar, where he decides to fund their mission.
Did they need money?
Well, Sammy and Charlie are mercenaries, and they were just talking about their fee, so I guess? The next morning, they go to the docks and try to play a game called Find Someone Not Wearing a Hat, and also charter a boat. Ludendorff tells the German high command that he has a secret weapon that could help them win the war, but they really don't care. So he and Dr. Poison kill them, and then laugh to let us know they're evil. When Diana and the rest of them arrive, they meet up with this Native American guy named Chief. Real original name, right? And he tells them that Ludendorff is in this castle on the other side of the battlefield. So in the morning, Chief takes them to the front line where they see all these families fleeing the city on the other side of the battlefield.
Let's hurry. I'm getting hives just from being around all these ugly people.
The city's been occupied for months, but they're just now leaving, so they can tell Diana how bad it sucks over there. This battlefield has been at a stalemate for a long time, but Diana goes into warrior mode and just charges the field. And the Germans are all like, "Oh look, a beautiful half-naked woman, kill her!" And they open fire. The rest of the team follow behind her, but nobody shoots at them. They take the front line, but now they gotta take the city with all the officers in it. They defeat all the soldiers but one, a sniper in a bell tower of a church. Steve tries this technique he saw her aunt use, and she destroys a historic cathedral to kill one guy.
They couldn't just go in the building to get him?
Well, I mean, the door could have been locked, and they really didn't have time for this guy to give up or run out of bullets. So the townspeople are all happy and throw a party, and Diana and Steve make kissy face.
So you cannot sleep with me unless I
Look,
marry you.
I'll sleep with you if you want. If you don't mind, open my
No,
house.
it's up to you. I'm just trying.
I know it's up to me. I'm making the choice. I'll come sleep with you.
Okay.
Get off me, woman!
So the next day, there's a gala at the castle Ludendorff's at. So Steve goes undercover to see what their evil plan is. Diana wants to go with him, but Steve says no.
No. I forbid it.
So she beats up some lady and steals her clothes. While Steve is flirting with Dr. Poison,
I love fire, don't you? But it's really hot.
Diana shows up, and no one notices the sword sticking out of her dress. Ludendorff doesn't even feel it when he's dancing with her. He quotes some Greek poet, and then questions her knowledge of the Greek gods. You know, like you do.
Ludendorff, enough!
So this solidifies the fact that this man is Ares, so Diana tries to pull out her sword and fight him right there, but Steve stops her. So instead of just pushing Steve down and going after Ludendorff anyway, she just leaves the party in time to see them bomb the city that they just saved.
That sucks.
Not to sound mean, but it's not like we got to know any of the people that lived there. But it is sad on paper. So Chief signals that he's found Ludendorff, and she goes off to fight him. As she confronts him, he inhales this gas that makes you stronger.
Why would a god need help to fight her?
He wouldn't. And that's because Ludendorff isn't actually Ares. And he goes down like a bitch. Diana is so confused on why Ares' spell isn't lifted from the soldiers.
I understand, sir.
I don't.
And that's when she sees Sir Patrick and his stupid mustache.
It's awful.
Turns out that Sir Patrick is Ares, so she tries to stab him with the God Killer, and that pretty much breaks her right away. He tells her that she is the God Killer, because only a god can kill another god, and she's Zeus's kid.
You mean she wasn't made of clay?
Don't be stupid. That also means her aunt stupidly jumped in front of a bullet for nothing. So he tells her that he wants all the humans to kill each other so that way they can recreate the world as the paradise that it once was. So to do this, he plans on releasing the gas in London during the treaty signing. Honestly, he probably just wants to create a last man on Earth scenario so that way she has to get with him, because there's no way she would ever go for him with that damn mustache.
I could never be a part of that.
So if she won't join him, he's gonna kill her and live in paradise alone, which sounds really boring. So they start throwing all sorts of crap at each other, which doesn't really do anything. So he creates this suit of armor out of garbage that's just laying around, and he does look pretty badass.
Nice outfit.
So they duke it out while Steve tries to stop the plane that's carrying the bomb. Unfortunately, he knows there's only one way to stop this plane, so he goes to say goodbye to Diana.
The plane is taking off, and he stops to say goodbye to someone.
Yeah, and Ares just stops what he's doing so they can do their thing.
That was nice.
I thought so too. So Steve runs after this plane and flies it really, really high up into the sky and blows it up. Well, this upsets Diana, and she starts to really fight back. Ares starts throwing lightning bolts, which she catches in her wristband somehow.
Is there anything else you want to show me?
So she blasts him, knocking him back, and the helmet flies off, and we see that he still has that goddamn mustache.
Doesn't go with the outfit.
Upon seeing the mustache, she blasts him with her god powers, and he blows up.
He's dead.
All the soldiers go back to normal, just in time to see the sunrise. Back in London, everybody celebrates the armistice, and Steve is honored by having a picture bigger than everyone else's on a bulletin board.
I guess some things are worth fighting for.
I guess you could take that away from the story, but remember, all the Amazons were supposed to fight Ares, and Diana's the only one that did anything. So the real moral is, in a group project, one person usually does all the work.
It is over. It is over for you. It is over for all of you.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You should
Subscribe.
Thank you very much.
Subscribe.